Hello friends and welcome to Gamereactor Live on this wonderful Friday. Friday of course means only one thing, well, two actually, news and GR Friday nights. Today we'll be playing Destiny, or to be more precise, I will, which should be interesting because I've never played the game before. I will be taking over Nick's character, which is level 30, and we'll be doing the weekly Nightfall Strike. Two of you can join, and I think I have some t-shirts for you. So add Wicked Nick on PSN, and we'll do that in the second hour of the stream. The first hour of the stream is all about this week's gaming headlines, and to assist me in, dishing the dirt, I have, through the magical powers of the internet, joining me on Google Hangout, Bengt and Petter Mortensen. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Yes, I try my best.
I got my surname and everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
people know Bengt.
I'm just Bengt. I like that. It's like an artist or something.
He's like the Edge or Bono.
Exactly like Bono, right?
Oh, that explains the haircut. I haven't seen you in a while. It explains the haircut and the kind of rock and roll moustache and beard.
Yeah, you're talking about the no cut?
Yeah.
I'm
Sure.
in negotiations with my hairdresser.
Yes.
It's gonna happen soon.
I'm certain your wife loves it.
Guys,
She's my hairdresser.
that's
though.
enough about personal hygiene. We're gamers. We want to talk about games. Bengt, what's
Yeah, we don't have any personal hygiene
no,
to talk
what's
about.
the what's the first
Roll
headline of
on.
the week? And yeah, what are we talking about?
Yeah. The first headline comes out of the Nintendo Direct that was, I think it was Wednesday night. Satoru Iwata was back from his medical issues. He had a surgery to remove a tumor this summer, and it was the first time he was back on the Nintendo Direct since last spring, I guess. And the big news coming out of the show was the fact that they announced The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, remake of the Nintendo 64 Classic that's coming to Nintendo 3DS, and it's also going to be a special edition coming out with two-sided poster and a steel book and a collector's pin. Really nice little thing, and Nintendo aren't really known to make collector's editions, so nice to see them taking a move in that direction. So I guess I'll throw it to the floor. Any fond memories of Majora's Mask, Petter?
I haven't played it since it came out, but I do remember kind of it's slightly disturbing in many ways. if I remember correctly. Just the general feel of the game is very, very different from Ocarina of Time.
It's the black sheep of the Zelda family, isn't it?
It is. It's a bit. If I remember correctly, everything. I wasn't a very big fan of the entire time limited. You kind of moving back and forward these 3 days before the moon crashes into Hyrule. But it's going to be interesting to play it again and actually see how well it aged. People seem to forget it all the time. People like to talk about Ocarina of Time.
And
completely forget about Majora's Mask. So that's going to be interesting.
It came out pretty late in the lifespan of the Nintendo 64, which is typically a good time to be sort of that forgotten game. A lot of people had already sort of started looking towards something else at the time when it came out. But it looks like they made some improvements. They say it's going to be 60 frames per second. And did you play the Ocarina of Time remake?
No, certainly I didn't.
No, because generally people were pretty happy with how they sort of enhanced the game. Only ever so slightly, but that was another classic that they brought back, and I think they also brought back the Star Fox 64. So they've certainly sort of taken a shining to bringing out those old classics in sort of revamped form on the 3DS.
Yeah, I'm glad they do. Because the thing was, going back, the Nintendo 64, it does have a lot of good games. For example, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. But the problem is that the graphics on that machine, they don't tend to age very well.
No.
They look like gruel.
The days of 3D. Yeah.
Very, very very blurred. very gruely like textures. So I'm happy they're doing that and kind of showing them to a new generation that might be put off by trying to play it on the 64 now. I went back to playing on my PS2 just the other week, and that still works. But I know that if I tried to play Ocarina of Time again on my 64, I would have had problems with it.
I think you have to bring back your old TV as well, your old standard definition TV, old little breakfast TV, 10-inch thing.
Yeah.
Then it looks great again. But yeah, overall it's a pretty good Nintendo Direct, I think. We also got to see Miyamoto presenting his Pikmin shorts, HD movies, and that's by the way, that's out on 3DS now. You can download if you want to look at those, which is Miyamoto's animation directorial debut. And they also have brought on some news about some games that we've been longing to know more about. They detailed some stuff from Splatoon and Xenoblade Chronicles, and yeah, we got to see a few other things like amiibo features in Hyrule Warriors and how it will work in Mario Kart 8, and yeah, a bunch of stuff. So it was a good Nintendo Direct, but the main news was obviously Majora's Mask's return. I think that's it for Majora's Mask, and we'll move on to the next news piece. And it is news that sort of I think it might be a little bit upsetting to Dóri. I don't know. We'll have to hear with him later. But Ubisoft has pulled their major upcoming releases from Steam, including Assassin's Creed Unity, Far Cry 4, and The Crew. This was spotted by PC Games N first, and they asked Ubisoft about it, and they said that if you wish to buy a digital copy, you can go to Uplay Store or other digital distributors or retail partners. And I'm not sure that is enough to sort of satisfy the Steam clients. There's also been discussions on the price level of these games. But what's your take, Petter, on Ubisoft removing their big 3 November releases from Steam?
I can understand if people are really upset or annoyed, at least annoyed.
It's so close to release, right? It's just a week away.
That is weird. That is weird. I'm not sure how much pre-purchase thing they've been doing with Unity on Steam at all. I'm actually checked.
I can imagine Far Cry at least having a ton of pre-orders on Steam. I would be shocked if it didn't. So
yeah, it's the same thing with Unity, really. But
yeah. But I think Far Cry is a little bit of a bigger brand on PC maybe than Assassin's Creed, which is
that's
more console based. But regardless, it's just a week out from Unity, of course, and you'd have to think there's some sort of politics involved in this, and people are, of course, making the jumping to the conclusion that Ubisoft are taking a page out of EA's book and are focusing on their own platform and don't want to give 30% or whatever the cut is to Valve anymore.
Which I can understand. I can understand the kind of frustration that some publishers would feel that you're on Steam and you don't exist. And I mean, Origins. The problem, of course, with storefronts like Origin is that they usually tend to suck.
Yeah.
I haven't actually checked Origin in a long time, but so it might be good now. Who knows?
I don't have that many pleasant memories of Uplay either, I must say. Perhaps not the storefront per se, but the online service has. You tend to remember the times when you were screwed over on a game session by one of these things, rather than the hundreds of times that it actually works. But
I mean, I was already pretty annoyed that when I bought Ubisoft games on Steam, that I would have to go through Uplay anyway.
Yeah.
I remember playing Far Cry Blood Dragon, which is offline single player, and every now and again it would freeze my game, pop up, and say, "Oh, can't connect to server."
Hello.
And that's just, that's the death. That's the death of enjoying a game.
And it's funny because Ubisoft have been making this sort of push to be that they're more PC friendly and that they're really going to put effort into their PC games, and this sort of goes completely opposite to that. And also the system specs for Assassin's Creed were just ridiculous. If I'm not mistaken, they were extremely high.
They were crazy, and I'm running a couple of trailers here for Unity, Far Cry 4, and The Crew, which show off some of the special functions with NVIDIA cards. It's like they are putting more focus on PC and having it work properly, and then they do this. I can only see it as a like a negotiation tactic. Maybe it was time to renegotiate the deal with Steam, and Steam goes, well, we don't need to renegotiate. We are the biggest. You just pay us what we tell you to pay us. And I mean, and like you said earlier, I can see this kind of a softer version of what EA pulled with Origin. They've built up Uplay. They feel it's working now, so maybe they think, okay, now is the time to just move fully over. Who knows?
It is that lure of sort of the lure of digital is that you cut out the middleman, because at retail you have that 30% is probably a little bit more even at retail, because you got to have distribution. You have there are several layers to it, even though the shops don't necessarily earn a ton of money on each purchase, but that 30% is something that digital could potentially cut away with, and they could take all the money themselves. That is, of course, what they want to do. They don't want to give it away to anyone else, and it's not personal for Valve or Steam. It's just that we'd rather have the money ourselves. So I can certainly see that. Of course, the problem being that Steam is such an established platform that it's gonna it's definitely gonna hurt their sales numbers on PC, I think. I can't imagine that they can.
It must be so frustrating for them to because I can certainly understand also, like, having actual competition on that front. Is basically it is Steam, and then there's Good Old Games. And those two are the accepted ones, and Good Old Games, of course, have their niche.
Yeah.
While everything that goes outside of Steam is just annoying for everyone involved. And
unless it's completely DRM free and just a direct download, then people can accept that as well. But obviously, and of course, these games are not going to beat that. So no.
And of course, people want, even if they're buying it digitally from other places, they want the Steam code to put in Steam.
Yeah.
And it's just. I can also understand, of course, I don't want multiple launchers running at the same time.
No.
On my computer, that is annoying, but at the same time, we've given an incredible amount of power to Valve and Steam.
And saying multiple, I mean, we all know that we already have Battle.net, so that is one down, and we have Steam. So it would be number 3 or number 4 or number 5 that we had to add. So that's too much.
Yeah, seeing other companies as well that being really annoying with that. Like Trion did the same thing now with Arcade and Rift and Trove, that putting in their own launcher. And this is not because theirs. It gets to be a bit much after a while. But at the same time, I can understand that they want an alternative to Steam. Having alternatives should be good for the consumer.
How do you think that this can be resolved? Do you think that players, and because I mean obviously, if the fees were lowered, you would see maybe both EA and Ubisoft returning because they would increase their sales. Do you think there's anything to be done here, or is this sort of like where sort of Valve is so powerful that they don't really have to listen to anyone and they don't need to care, or can this turn on Valve and Steam in the end, and with players saying, hey, you have to work to get our games on Steam, make sure that they're there, or because right now I think it's EA and Ubisoft who turn out to be the bad guys, and obviously people don't blame Steam for this. So
no, gamers love Valve a bit too much, I guess. I mean, they can do no wrong basically. So I don't know the kind of the pressure, as you say, it's on EA and Ubisoft, not on Valve. It's hard. But at the same time, perhaps for these companies not to compete with Valve on their own turf with these kind of storefront launchers. Perhaps trying to move away from that somehow more selling standalone stuff. Of course, not DRM free. That's going to be tricky, but I really don't know. It's kind of a catch-22 for them because they want their own stuff. They kind of deserve their own stuff in a way as a standalone company. But
I guess it's also like, because EA are exploring a lot of different ways to sort of deliver their games. They have the EA Access thing on Xbox One. They're giving away free games on Origin on a monthly basis, I think it is. They're obviously looking into how to sort of tie consumers more closely to their company, and I guess it's also not just about the 30% or whatever it is that they have to give away, but also about the freedom to sort of to have this to rule this relationship between the consumer and themselves.
Yep.
Not have anyone in between there is also very important to them and their business. And I could certainly see EA moving with the Origins to more of a subscription-based service in the long run as well, which is an interesting thought and something that's not really supported by Steam in that sense. So there's a lot that could go on here. I'm sure that Ubisoft are considering the same sort of things. I don't know if people would be interested in say a sort of an annual subscription to Assassin's Creed, have the whole library of all games, and pay whatever it costs to buy a game a year. Instead, pay that, get everything, get all the DLC, get everything, and you're sort of locked in for that. These are things that they're probably considering, especially for PC, where such things would be more easy to implement.
Yeah, if I can just, I'm pretty conflicted on this, because I have, on one hand I have what I feel like and want, and then on the other hand I have what makes more sense. On one hand I love Steam, I think it works great, and I just want everything in one place. But on the other hand, it makes complete sense for EA and Ubisoft to have their own services, it's better for us as consumers to have competition in the marketplace. And of course people say Origin sucks and Uplay sucks, but do you remember Steam when it first came out? Seriously.
Nobody does.
I remember those uploads taking forever. But
there was a lot of noise about, people were upset that Half-Life 2 was launching with Steam, something that didn't work at all. But obviously it evolved. So
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If they can get it to work properly, then I'm already doing this where I just bring in the games from Uplay and Origin into Steam as non-Steam games and play them through there anyway. People that nitpick will be like, oh, my achievements aren't in the same place. But I'm not Nick. I don't really care that much about that.
Well, it's the same problem as having an Xbox and a PlayStation, I guess.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
not really. As a gamer, you cannot have all your achievements in one place unless you use something like was it Raptor or what other
Raptor,
services?
Yeah, Raptor.
Which I haven't tried.
And I'm sure there are a lot of people who use those kind of services where it's really important for them with their achievements and stuff. So they have that option. It's a complex issue, and I don't think we can resolve it within the time limits that we are afforded on this show.
The only thing that I want to say here
right
in the
on.
end is, as long as Ubisoft focuses on getting their PC, I call them ports, even though I'm sure they work on them separately, but just get them optimized and working day one. Don't have us wait 2 months until we can actually play the games properly, and fuck 30 frames per second. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, but that's the best way to experience a lot of games.
You just said we don't have time, and I can sit here for a long time.
No more time. I had the final word. All right, we're moving right along to another service, namely PS Plus and its instant game collection. Of course, we're still waiting for that Drive Club PS Plus edition to land. No word on when that will be. That was supposed to be our first taste of AAA on the PS4 instant game collection, but they have now confirmed the first two, retail products to go on the service, and that will be Injustice: Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition that will hit in December, and then it will be followed by the standalone expansion of Infamous Second Son: First Light that comes in January. So we're getting some bigger games on PS Plus instant game collection. Finally, on PS4, what are your thoughts on the instant game collection, Petter?
I don't actually have that much to say about it.
It's a good thing.
It's a good, yeah. It's basically, it's nice. I like it. I have to admit that during the year I had PS Plus, I only downloaded the games. I never actually played any of them.
I think you're like a lot of other people.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to bring one thing up here. They're announcing December and January AAA titles coming for free now. That's
Yes.
weird to me. I mean, what are the sales of these games completely dead? So
That was my thought as well. Like, well, why would you want to kill off the sales of Infamous First Light 2 months before it would hit instant game collection? My suspicion is that there's been so much noise. People have been displeased with there just being small indie titles for PS4, and the fact that the Drive Club did not happen. People are complaining a lot, and even though PS Plus is still very much a very profitable proposition for gamers if you play some of these games, even though this month I have to say I already owned a lot of the games, and there wasn't that much for me on PS Plus. I played a bit of Binding of Isaac, but that didn't really grip me, and I already had SteamWorld Dig, so and Luftrausers as well, so there wasn't that much for me this month. But I can imagine that it's a little bit of damage control to try and get people psyched up about it. But it is a little bit surprising that they because obviously this will hurt the sales of Infamous First Light and Injustice. I think Injustice probably doesn't sell a lot right now, but Infamous First Light is probably still doing business for Sony. So a little bit surprising, I have to say. Also surprising, something like the Swapper that came out a couple of months ago is already now. We know that it's going to be free in January, so I wonder how the digital sales of that game is going to be in these 2 months that this is announced, and it's probably going to hurt that quite a bit, I would think. So
yeah,
it's a new strategy. Usually we have to wait until until they announce it right before they go live. And then this is a little bit different, so it's a little bit strange.
yeah, and I'm gonna jam in there, buy the Swapper, people. It's excellent.
Yeah.
No need to wait and get it for free. Just buy it now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not the most costly game, so you can
and
buy it now.
also, Secret Ponchos will be coming. I can't remember if that was in December or January.
It was December. Yeah. So and that's I guess that's going to be released right at that time as well, because it's not out. But I think that's a good thing though, because multiplayer games need, of course, a big player base, and if they can get that with PS Plus straight away, I think that could be a good thing for the game in the long term as well.
Start off strong.
Yeah, and then speaking of that, we also got a number that there are now 7.9 million PS Plus members. That's a number that Sony released recently. Of course, it's not up to the level of Xbox Live Gold, but that took Microsoft quite a while to get
A
up
whole generation, right?
to where it is today.
Almost.
So. I assume that it's what's driving this is the fact that you have to have it for PS4 multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's why people are now migrating to PS Plus.
Yeah, that's it
Yeah.
for PS Plus.
Certainly. Next, we're gonna talk a little bit about a certain game called Grand Theft Auto 5.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? Well, let me tell you, it's the story of three lovely fellows and
Three gentlemen.
yes, as they explore a dangerous and cuddly world of Los Santos and things. I don't know. Apparently, it's about Lindsay Lohan as well. I don't know.
So she
Anyway.
says.
Anyway, the big news was the confirmation this week of the first-person view. I think we have a trailer of that.
It's running
so
right now. Yeah.
if you can run that. Yeah. And I guess the big surprise is that it actually looks like they've done a really, really good job in implementing that. Of course, a sort of a cheap first-person view is nothing that nobody would be excited about that, but it's something that's really well worked through and where it feels proper is interesting, and perhaps enough incentive to buy the game a second time. They released a bunch of other smaller details. I noticed that the ability to duck while driving a car, which I'm sure is going to be very handy for a lot of people. And of course, the improved graphics as well. I don't know if you got the trailer with the comparison between PS3 and
Actually
PS4.
have that right here. We'll switch to that.
Yeah, that is actually a dramatic difference. It's not just cleaned up. It looks a lot more detailed and a lot shinier, especially the cars. And you know, it's
a lot more detail in the
1080p.
environment and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, 1080p. I think it's 30 frames, and across both PS4 and the Xbox One. PC is gonna get 4K res if you got the hardware and the screens for that. We're getting a lot of new animals. The wildlife is blowing up, and well, there's a bunch of new things. There's a lot more new radio stations as well, and also there's the bonuses that you get if you're a returning player. So if you played it on Xbox 360 or PS3 and you're going into the new gen, you will get a bunch of bonuses.
And I think that's one of the extremely exciting things is that you can port your character from PS3 or Xbox 360 over to any of the three new gen platforms.
Yeah, and the PC version, of course, the PS4 and Xbox One comes out. I think it's November 18th, and PC is January 27th.
Yeah, they gotta bring out the version with 4K support a little bit later.
Yes. And you know, the PC players have been waiting so long anyway that they can wait a little longer. But we also learned at this time that the long-awaited and much delayed heists will arrive shortly after the launch of the new gen versions.
Didn't they also say
take
that?
it for what
Didn't
it
they also
is.
say that last time, shortly after?
It is like I'm hearing an echo from last year, really. But yeah, apparently it's still coming very shortly. So I think that is probably the thing that most people are waiting for when it comes to GTA Online. We've been waiting for that for a long time. And of course, GTA Online is also improved up to 30 players with 2 spectators. There's a new character creator. There's 150 new props, and all those rewards of the returning players that we briefly mentioned. So a lot of stuff going on with that. Wait, Petter, what do you think? Have you been playing GTA 5 any?
Yeah, Finally,
Mine again?
about a year after everyone else played it.
All right.
Finally sat
So,
down
so
with
in a year's time, you will move on to the new generation of GTA 5 then.
Yeah. No, but it's looking good. Personally, I don't care about the first-person view because I know exactly what's going to happen when I try to drive in first-person view. It's not a thing of beauty. But yeah, it looks like they're actually doing a hell of a job with it, so that's nice.
It is kind of that is sort of like a little bit of a holy grail to do a third-person game and first-person and actually have both of those views work well.
Yeah.
You have the things like Elder Scrolls where first-person is just king, and third-person is, I don't even know why they have that in there. Maybe to sell the game in Japan or something.
I actually always play
Third-person?
Yeah.
Burn him!
Get out of it. Get out of here.
Otherwise, I can't see my cool armor in first-person view.
But you have to admit that it looks like crap.
Yeah, it does. It's clumsy, but I can't play first-person
No.
view in Elder Scrolls. I don't know why. It's going to be the same
Have
thing
the,
here.
you
But
have the MMO sickness.
I think that's it. I want to see my loot.
Yeah. I mean, there are benefits to third-person view, like seeing people come up from behind you and things like that. But Elder Scrolls and Fallout, I'm playing that in first-person.
Yeah, same thing with Fallout, actually.
Mm.
I don't know why. But yeah, it's gonna be. It's good that they're actually.
Yeah.
That is not just another lazy port.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they've taken their sweet time on announcing this and bringing it out. So we would have been very upset if it was a lazy port, but thankfully it doesn't look like that's at all the case.
No.
And I think that's. Do you have anything else to say on that? We are going to do a live stream when GTA 5 hits next year, right?
Yeah, that's
Dóri?
the plan. We will do a online stream with our crew, and of course we'll also do some of the story and stuff like that in a separate stream. But for the online part, we have been sitting on some mighty fine swag for a long time now. Can't wait to give that away. We have golf clubs and jackets and stuff. We'll make
Golf clubs.
Believe it or not, yoga mats, teddy bears of the of what was the name of the dog? Chomp. Stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
But we'll make a video separate on that to advertise the stream. So keep an eye out for that. And of course, you can join the GR Live crew right now on the Rockstar Social Club. The guys are playing all the time.
Yep. And of course, that's a good way to get ready for new gen as well, as everything carries over. So
Level up now.
you got your sort of radio voice on for that.
Yeah, I just dropped into it naturally.
Yeah,
I'm getting used to this hosting stuff.
Yeah, don't get too used to it. So up next, some news that actually got me a little bit excited. I have to say, BioWare are quizzing fans over a possible Mass Effect trilogy remake for new gen consoles. It was BioWare's Aaron Flynn who wanted to sort of canvas what fans thought of a potential remake or a HD remake of the trilogy on the new consoles, whether they wanted 2080p visuals or 60 frames per second. He mentioned that, this is interesting, I think, that he wanted to implement DLC seamlessly into the game. So organic implementation is definitely what we have in mind. The DLC should just all be there as if it wasn't there.
As if it never wasn't there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Which some of it in Mass Effect is sort of that way, but not all of it. So they'd have to tweak some of that stuff.
I think they did that fairly well, though. If you look at DLC that was released for the first one, and then you can't remember her name. Like there's a storyline about Thief in the first one, and when she turns up in the second one, the same thing in the third. That those are kind of organically flowed into each other. So the basis is there for a lot of it, though. It's just to have it.
I mean, so some of the stuff is like some of the additional characters and that stuff is just it's just mission that you take anyway. It's not separate, but some of it is sort of like feels a little bit like afterthoughts. I don't know. There was some sort of extra missions with the rover and stuff like that.
Bringing down the sky, right?
Yeah, Hammerhead stuff, and I don't know.
No.
But some of it was a little bit tagged on, and other stuff felt like if you had the DLC and you played the game, it felt like it was part of the game. So interesting stuff. Of course, it's November 7th today, which is N7th day. So no surprise that they're bringing this up.
Yeah, but I mean, they should have come out with the announcement today, but they're not doing that.
No. I don't know.
We'll have to wait till next year.
It's interesting though that. Yeah, I think it's interesting that they bring it up like this. I mean, obviously, this is something that perhaps they've sort of looked at adapting the engine to new gen, looking at what they could do. It's probably been in their minds, and now with Dragon Age finished, maybe there's a little bit of people who could actually work on that. Of course, the new Mass Effect game is not being done by BioWare Edmonton. It's being done in Montreal, and presumably they're all busy with that. So, I guess it depends a little bit on when they plan on bringing the next Mass Effect out. If it's planned for next year, maybe this won't happen. But if it gets pushed even further, maybe this will be out next year. I don't know. But it was interesting. One thing that he said was about the combat mechanics, that they wouldn't implement the ones from Mass Effect 3 into Mass Effect 1, which, for me, I tried to replay Mass Effect 1 after playing Mass Effect 2 and 3, and it's just impossible for me because the combat is so much better in the other games. So I think I would have a problem replaying Mass Effect 1 on new gen unless they sort of streamline the combat somewhat. But we'll see if that happens. Exciting stuff anyway. I would love to have the trilogy on new consoles. And next, a little bit of an embarrassing story here.
Yeah, this is the annoying news piece of the week.
Yes, and it's why I'm all dressed up, and I've got my little wolf boy next to me.
Yeah, I was too depressed this morning. I forgot my T-shirt at home.
Oh well. Anyway, earlier this week, I think it was Wednesday, maybe. News broke of a German registration, trademark registration for Fallout: Shadows of Boston, and everyone jumped to the conclusion that this was Fallout 4, and that Bethesda were getting ready to announce it. Then came the tweet from Bethesda. The German trademark filing that's making the rounds is a hoax. This didn't come from our offices. And down went that story in a flaming glory. Yeah, so the sort of the Boston rumors have been flying high for a very long time, and it is the believed setting for the next Fallout. Obviously, someone felt like this was a great prank to pull,
Yeah, haha.
and they sent in those filings. I assume you can send anything in, and it will be registered, and then you have a link that you can link out and doesn't really say if you. I mean, obviously they cannot register Fallout Shadows of Boston if they're not actually Bethesda. So, But yeah, no signs, no official word on the next Fallout. I certainly hope that that's what Bethesda Game Studios are working on right now.
Wait, isn't this like the third time that a new Fallout hoax has been popped up? 3. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
I was just
At least 3 big ones, I think.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
I was just about to say now, if I wouldn't trust anything about a future Fallout from until they're standing on stage at E3 or something, revealing it, like 100% coming directly from the horse's mouth, because this is just getting silly now.
I want to look Todd Howard in the eyes. That's what I want to do. I want him to say to me and look me in the eyes. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I'm kind of adopting the same approach that I have with Half-Life 3 to any and all news pieces about a new Fallout. It's like, until it's them, no, all the rumors are fucking bullshit. I'm not quite as pessimistic as with Half-Life 3 because, I mean, that's never gonna happen.
I mean, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen.
So.
But we don't know when. But it's interesting when we talk about this. All these hopes. I mean, obviously there is a huge demand for the game. The traffic on these stories, huge on the site, and obviously people are very excited about it. And that is not a bad thing if you want to see a new Fallout. So even though we get pissed off at these sort of fake stories, the amount of attention it gets is good for the future of the franchise.
Yeah, for sure. What hurts more than these fake, it's coming, it's coming. What hurts more than that is the hints towards it being another MMO.
Yay! Yay!
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the next project that ZeniMax Online works on, because I guess the Elder Scrolls Online isn't a huge success. I don't know. Petter probably knows better the status on that. But if they're gonna keep that studio around, they should probably start working on a new project. And that would make sense.
I haven't heard that Elder Scrolls Online is doing that badly.
Okay.
It's not dead, but maybe it's not big enough to support the full studio for years to come.
No, that is true.
But yeah, I mean, we haven't heard anything about the Elder Scrolls Online on console since it was delayed.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's happening still, but we'll see, I guess. But I don't think that, going back to what Dóri was talking about, I do not think that Bethesda would turn their prestige studio into an MMO studio as well, when they already have a big MMO studio. I don't think that makes any sense for them long term or short term.
No.
So I certainly think that the new Fallout, if it is indeed in development at Game Studios, it will be the kind of RPG that we're used to.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. Anyway, speaking of pull plugs, EA pulled the plug on their MOBA Dawngate this week. After 6 months of open beta, it was put to an end. This is what Matt Bromberg said. We built a game in Dawngate that wasn't simply a clone of existing MOBAs, but one that truly pushed the genre forward in many ways. This isn't the outcome we wanted, but beta testing is about learning and improvement, and ultimately about making difficult decisions on how to proceed. And I think he said something about the game not developing into what they wanted. What is your take on this?
The thing is that the MOBA scene has become, or for a while at least, when League of Legends really started to make it big, it became this bastard child of the MMO industry. And but it's one of those genres which just confuses the hell out of me. And I try to understand the lure, and I understand what the hell is going on, and how many MOBAs can we actually release before the entire thing goes crashing into the ground. So this Dawngate was kind of... I'm not surprised that they're starting to close down MOBAs now. I'm not sure we have actually reached kind of a peak MOBA moment yet, but one less MOBA I have a hard time caring about. I'm not sure actually what was so different with Dawngate compared to many of the others. So I don't think I'm qualified to actually give very much of a bigger comment on this.
No. I mean, I also had that sort of general thing about, there has been a lot of analysts talking about that, this is not the time to launch a MOBA. It's already too late. League of Legends, Dota 2, possibly Heroes of New Earth, and some more niche variations of those will be successful, but it's too late to launch something big and get into this space, possibly unless your name is Blizzard. And I just think that is the case. I mean, why would you opt out of playing something like League of Legends to play a new thing that is definitely not as developed, and that doesn't have the player base, nor the attention, nor the esports scene? It's just such a package that you can't compete with it.
Two words: toxic community would be the only reason that pops to my mind. I've tried playing LoL; it was not a good time.
But don't you think that a lot of that toxicity sort of migrates when people get banned?
But it's not the people that get banned. It's it's partly, I think, in my experience, broken matchmaking, where you drop into a game with way too good players and they just trash you, and that kind of sets you off that, and then you might try a smaller MOBA or something like that.
Possibly, yeah. And there are MOBAs that add something a little bit different. Think like Smite, for instance, very different experience. And we're getting that Gearbox game. What's it called? Battleborn, which is also very different take on a MOBA.
Isn't that more kind of like a co-op FPS MOBA-ish style? I mean, it's not. You're not battling others. It's not a multiplayer.
I think it's gonna be both. Okay. Yeah, but it is different, but it still has that sort of the lines and the lanes and the creeps and the towers.
Yeah,
exactly. It has that sort of setup. But obviously this has been a major investment for EA. I don't know what happens to the studio. But having worked on something for years and then not earning a single dollar, because they're also returning any microtransaction that people have done during the beta will be returned. So it is certainly a big loss for EA.
Yeah, I really want to know what happened. But when Bloomberg says that the outcome that this isn't the outcome we wanted, of course it wasn't. And beta tested learning and improving and so on. Exactly what was the issue? Was it just a business decision that they realized that, as you said, you can't go up against League of Legends and Dota 2 at this point?
I think it's a numbers game. I think open beta and launching a product these days is pretty much, it's a sliding scale.
Yeah.
So they probably saw that their player counts, in spite of not, it just didn't take off. It has always struck me as a strange project from EA, because we haven't heard from our usual PR channels. We haven't heard a lot about Dawngate, almost nothing. it sort of feels like something that EA had because we have to have a MOBA, but it's not really integrated into the full machinery of EA. That could of course work both positively and negatively, but ultimately Dawngate was just this game that nobody paid attention to, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be completely honest. The first time I heard about Dawngate was the news piece, it's cancelled.
It's the first time I think I've heard about it since it was announced.
It's funny because I think we've been to 2 E3s and 2 Gamescoms since it was announced. I think maybe we were offered an interview once for it. That's just strange to me.
For some reason, us having this discussion makes me want to go and give it a go. I can't.
There's still time. There's still time.
The art is really nice for it, compared to a lot of other MOBAs, like League of Legends looks terrible.
I think it will be up for another 90 days. So there's still time to play it.
I'll probably download it and never start it.
Splurge on microtransactions and stuff, you get it all back.
Yeah, I mean, you can just splurge it, then do your tax declaration, say you spend all this money on gambling, then you get it back next year.
Clever.
But yeah, I mean, maybe if the numbers really just skyrocket now, maybe they'll change the decision. Who knows?
Who knows?
But no, I think it's probably set in stone, and that they don't wanna push this anymore. All right, we got 2 more stories and 7 minutes, so let's speed up. And it's a good thing Nick isn't here because this story would have taken a lot longer if he was. Activision have confirmed that Destiny 2 is already in development.
Surprise.
Activision CEO Eric Hirschberg told investors during a post-earnings financial call that work has also begun on future expansion packs as well as our next full game release. They also announced that they had 9.5 million registered users. And I think the average play time is 3 hours a day, which is insane.
Yeah.
So Destiny 2, not really surprising. The only thing I'm wondering about is when they plan on bringing that out and what the continued rollout for content with Destiny is. Because they're doing this sort of MMA-like thing, and Petter, if you will, what would the reaction been if you launched an MMO 2-3 months ago and then said, and we're working on the sequel now?
People would go insane. I mean, it's just the ultimate. People are saying this, as you say, it's a MMO light, and it is. But it's when I heard this the first time, I couldn't help laughing a bit at it. Yeah. I can't remember who said it now on Twitter, but this is obviously Activision not understanding the concept of game as service. And it's just you don't do that in the MMO space. You don't release MMO and then say, oh, by the way, we're working on a sequel. You support the game. You can change through expansion packs. You have an organic kind of evolution of the game, but you definitely don't announce a sequel. So for me personally, and I've been hyped by Nick over and over again about this goddamn game, but when I read that, I lost all kinds of interest in Destiny. I wasn't sure what to do with the news, and it's just, okay. So
I mean, obviously, Destiny has been in development for many, many years. We don't really know what the time scale is there. It's not really saying that. So it could be that, maybe we'll get it in 2017. That wouldn't be a horrible thing, I think, if they kept supporting Destiny all the way up till then.
And I mean, who knows? They might roll it in to be Destiny 2.0, and it's just a huge update that you pay full price for.
Yeah.
That'd be a glorified expansion pack then. So it's more of your view, I guess, on an MMO as a game that is supposed to be running for years on end, and creating this virtual world and virtual community surrounding that world and all the stuff you do together in groups and solo and everything. It's just a weird kind of philosophy when it comes to dealing with the genre. So
of course, we should say that Bungie and Activision never used the term MMO for Destiny. They used the term shared world shooter, and I think that it's a portion. Though there is a portion of the players that will probably be a bit confused by this, but the shooter players, they may feel right at home with that.
Yeah, that is true. I come from another perspective. I come from the dedicated MMO player. This is just confusing and wrong.
And they should be punished.
I guess for people like Nick, who happily splurges money every year on the same game.
Ooh, shot fired.
I had to go there. He's gonna kick my ass next week when I'm at the office. Yeah. I mean, then it's probably all right. But as an MMO player, this is just off-putting and weird.
Yeah, and I mean, MMO players would rather pay money for like mounts and special costumes and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Return fire.
They tend to.
But yeah, speaking of Destiny, of course, we're almost done with news, and I am going to be jumping into Destiny, taking over Nick's level 30 character and jumping into the weekly...
Sell all his stuff.
The thing is, he's in the chat, and he can just log in from home to log me out, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, you're gonna do a share play?
No. I mean, because he has a PS4 at home, and he's watching in the chat, so if he logs in, I'll be logged out here. So I'm not going to be destroying all the stuff. But
it's going to have that fail-safe.
Exactly.
All right. I think that's good. I think that's probably
because I might do it accidentally. But yeah.
He's going to have his finger on the trigger all stream.
But yeah, I'm going to be jumping into the weekly Nightfall Strike, and I need 2 buddies to join me. So I'll see who's online and on Nick's friends list. Plenty of people that have joined GR Friday Night's Destiny earlier should be there. So come and help me. I need your help to get through it. But let's do the last news piece.
Yes, and this is actually a little bit of a promo as well. As you may know, in 3 hours, I think it is.
Yep.
Blizzard are kicking off BlizzCon. And there's been a lot of noise about possibly that would learn, something more about StarCraft 2 maybe. Is it the upcoming Legacy of the Void, or is it just something to do with Heart of the Swarm? We don't really know. But that is some teases that Blizzard have been sending out. Of course, we'll have updates on everything to do with Blizzard games. They've got the Warlords of Draenor expansion coming up very soon. There's always something new with Hearthstone. And Heroes of the Storm is progressing nicely along as well. And I haven't heard anything about possible news on Diablo 3, but I suspect there could be something small, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but we'll find out over the weekend, and of course we have Lasse and Rasmus on location, filming all the interviews that they're offered, and probably a couple extra.
Checking out the cosplay.
Yeah, doing the cosplay. They're also filming the events and stuff like that. Usually we can't put those up until a couple of weeks after, because they're streamed live and you need to pay for that, and then we can maybe put them up in their entirety later.
And I doubt they'll be allowed to film Metallica, right?
No, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna go and leave their stuff in the hotel room and then go rock out with their out.
I'd love to see footage of Rasmus in the mosh pit.
Yeah. Devastation.
I think he could bring some pain.
Undoubtedly.
All right, so I think that's it for news.
What I'm gonna do before we cut out, there were some audio clips posted by Blizzard on their SoundCloud that are maybe hinting towards the StarCraft 2 expansion. I'm just gonna play the clips for fun. I think it's more like an invitation to BlizzCon, because the tracks are titled C and then U at #BlizzCon. But let's play the clips for people, and they can make up their minds. I love that the comments on SoundCloud are all like identifying which characters are making the sounds and stuff like that.
And they're all the same
All different.
or different?
So we'll start on the first one. Oh. Of course, you guys on Skype can't hear it, but it's for the stream. Wait, get the second one.
I'm simulating listening now.
So yeah, that was the second one. Third one that was released.
They're not very exciting.
No, it's basically just the first three are like some from fights or something like that with the different characters, and then the last one is a song. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's a StarCraft 2 expansion. That would be, I guess, great for people who play StarCraft.
Yeah, we've been waiting a while for the complete StarCraft 2 experience, so it wouldn't be terrible.
But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys. So goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for joining.
Bye.
See you guys later. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to dip my toes into Destiny. Let's see here, I need to plug this in. I think this is off. You're still here. Oh, this is out of battery. Get a charging cable. Hope that works. Oh yeah, no, that fucks up the game sound. Can't do that on the other controller. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. I was sure that it was fully charged when I started. Now where is the other one? Here we go. Oh, and this one is also almost out of battery. Great. This is gonna be interesting, guys. Yeah, Nick is in the chat. That is my job. Charge the controllers. Yeah. So that's what we get when you go sick. The horror. So, I'll log in as the hunter. Invite friends. Saifir, I think I saw him in the chat talking about wanting to join. So I'll invite him to my fire team. Please help. Help me. How can it take this long to send a text that says play Destiny? Can you level down in this game if you play bad? Is asked in the chat. I wish Why isn't it sending this? There we go. Who else is online? Linda still? Yeah, why not? Come on, help me out. So, Cypher and Linderstil, they're both here. Can you guys hear me? I cannot hear you for some reason. Cypher, do you have a microphone? Talk to me. Talk to me.
Hej.
I can hear you now.
Yes, there's Linderstil. Or
Hej, er I dansker?
we are actually live streaming right now on Gamereactor in English.
Oh, sorry.
But would you like to join me? I've never played Destiny before, but I got handed this level 30 character and we're gonna play the weekly Nightfall Strike live on the internet.
Yeah, I can help you with that.
That sounds great. So,
I just need to check if I have my my preferred weapon.
Yeah,
Actually,
absolutely.
an icebreaker would be good. That's a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
I should get that, and you should start.
So should I just launch, or do you guys need to set up your classes and loadouts and everything?
You launch, and I join you momentarily.
Okay, great. So weekly Nightfall Strike, Meridian Bay, Mars. It's a level 28 strike, very hard, but I'm a level 30s, and not having ever played this game, I'm confident in my ability to play it anyway. So this is a 1 to 3 players.
You need to join us before we start the Nightfall Strike, because if everybody dies, we need to start over.
Ah, okay.
From the beginning.
Well, we'll just give Linderstil a couple of minutes to set out his loadout and stuff, and then invite him in again. And I have the icebreaker, the aforementioned icebreaker, which...
If you choose the option, you can see the icebreaker in the...
Yeah, so check out the options here. I have the icebreaker sniper rifle, which is fully leveled up. And I'm gonna rock the Atheon's Epilogue auto rifle to start with, maybe jump to the Lord Highfixer hand cannon. I'm just reading, I don't know what I'm saying. But I do know that I have some ammo regen things and stuff ready, so that should all be good.
We're not getting any ammo with the equipped weapon in this Nightfall.
Okay, so wait, it's not the enemies are not dropping it, or?
No, the enemy is dropping the ammo for the weapon you are carrying.
Ah.
So if you use your auto rifle, you only get for sniper or heavy.
Okay. Then I also have a scout rifle. I have the Suros Regime auto rifle and the hand cannon. But I do have some of those. What's it called? Let's see, equipment.
I think the Atheon's Epilogue is good for you. It does some really good damage.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be switching around.
The icebreaker is recharging its ammo, so you don't need to pick that up.
Okay. Let's see, Linderstil, are you ready?
Ready?
Okay.
I'm willing.
Ready and willing, that's what I like to hear. So, we will launch into the weekly Nightfall Strike in Meridian Bay in Mars. My hands are already sweating.
So you say you've never played this?
Whether we wanted it or
No,
not,
for
we've stepped
maybe
into a war
5
far
minutes.
from Mars.
today
So
to
let's get
kind
to
of,
taking out their command.
you know,
one by
to set it to inverted
Ballas
and
to Arik.
trying to shoot some stuff
From
in the
what I can
face.
gather,
It
he
went okay.
commands the
So
siege dancers from an Imperial land tank outside of Rubicon. He's well protected.
Your sound is
But with the
fading
right
in
team,
and out.
we can punch through those
Okay.
defenses, take this beast out, and break their grip on Freehold.
how about now?
No, we can't really hear you. Your sound is really low.
Okay. Thing is, I don't really have that good of a microphone connected to the PS4, but I think we'll have to make do.
Okay.
You can
well,
use your touchpad and hold in the square button and you get your spells.
first
Hold
step is
in.
easy.
To,
Oh, okay.
shots.
There we go. Okay. Oh shit!
You deploy the ghost in the
No, I
corner,
jumped off it.
and it sends you on your way to Valles Park.
Yeah.
I've established a link.
Difficult.
We can track him and his guard.
Oh, I like this better. Interceptor.
What's up for the Colossus?
Actually, these people are like ammo drops for the mission. You kill them to get heavy ammo. They're not difficult.
Okay.
Oh. You got the well kill. That can really do some damage.
Be on the lookout for his lieutenants. They're just as dangerous.
Here we will encounter an area with strong enemies.
Fully sworn enemies. So we need to stay in the back.
Okay.
Just
So not go too much forward.
The yellow ones deal most damage and are toughest to kill.
Oh, yeah. So that guy.
I take my eyes away from that.
Experienced players can run through this, but we're not
Take it
experienced.
slow.
Well, yeah, I am not experienced, at least.
Everyone.
So which characters are you?
I am a hunter.
Okay, what kind of hunter?
I'll show you. Stay there.
No, that's yeah. You said Titan?
Oh. A warlock.
Okay.
Guardian down.
Oh,
You need to revive your turn.
when it says nightfall, it means that if everybody dies, you are shooted back to orbit, but this area is actually a place where you can revive yourself, so
Okay.
technically we're not in the nightfall mission yet.
Kind of a warm-up then, I guess. Oh, that guy resists this. Okay.
is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Oh snap.
Yeah, this we should be able to run through now. Just head for that big blue door that is opening.
Okay.
Just follow me.
Don't worry about dying, I can take you. Good, we made it.
Good news. All of his lieutenants are here. We could take down all of his guard.
I think this is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Okay, no respawning.
You know advance.
We not just need to stay here and shoot all the enemies.
Okay.
Take it easy. So you can use your icebreaker to kill the enemies.
This is a form of exploit because you're too far away for them to actually react to the damage.
Ah.
It's like evading.
This is not working.
If your team knows what you're doing, you would advance and then trigger.
Got him. 4 shots left on the icebreaker.
It's a little coward to stay in the back and just kill the enemy.
Yeah, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Yeah, you just try and move in, we'll pick you up. See how it goes.
There's a boss in the middle tower. We need to kill. It's very easy to kill.
Don't play.
Coming above you.
You can actually summon your spike here or sparrow, which goes in the back with me. Go away. Hide, just so we can get him up clear without wiping. Because at any point you might die, and even if you think you can pick someone up, you need a third member to stay low.
Yeah.
They can easily kill. I think we're doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I'm
think
glad
we
this
could
is not
make
the
it
other one.
really doing some damage. It can't be your first FPS. It's funny the way that one guard just takes over for the other.
Oh, he's dead.
I'm picking up another one of his lieutenants heading this way.
I'm going to do something that might be stupid. Take
Go for it.
the interceptor and try and
He's
blow
in a
up the
tank.
land tank. Or the whatever.
Use icebreaker and just the wheels tank.
Yeah, true. But if you have a little maneuverability, then you can actually float around him and just shoot it without being hit in the interceptor.
Normally use my sniper. I like that.
Okay, but do you think you would be able to pick me up if I tried it?
I can try. But I think we should be sure to not get killed.
Yeah, okay. I'll get out. That was very sorry.
Oh wait, I have a heavy weapon as well. I forget.
You can use what you want. Just the wheels.
That was a knife. Run away.
You can take a tank and just move forward. That's fine.
Guardian down.
Oh, I died. No.
Just a moment.
Oh. Yep, I'm down.
Oh, you're hot shot.
Well, I'll get the next one. What is it? Size? Yeah. No, freaking thing.
Oh, I hit that shot. It can easily kill me.
Okay, just a moment.
I tried to jump away from it.
Oh, I thought I could dodge it. Sorry
I
guys.
think we kill
What
it.
I'm doing right now is I'm cloaking, so they can't see me. Therefore, they cannot shoot at me. That way I can revive my team members, but I need to be a hunter.
Let's go get to our end.
Next up is an area to farm ammo if you need it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can hold this and then... There we go.
You can check your spell and just fight through the enemies over here.
No. I was just dwindling them out, so if we can maybe have a problem, there's not too many to shoot.
Just what it was down here.
Okay, down here.
You can use L2 to get some boost.
Ah, okay.
All the enemies now.
What? Yeah, I cleared out some of them for you. Really works if you need heavy ammo.
We're almost done. Now we get to the final boss. It's fairly easy, if you know what to do.
Well, I have no idea what to do, so we'll figure that out. How am I doing on ammo? I need some heavy ammo. Actually, can I...
Oh, I'm dead.
Guardian
Down under.
down.
There's two of those biomes. I
You go back.
Revived.
I think we need to swing west. There's two enemies in here to the left,
Okay.
and we can get into a corner where he can't hit us, and we can just hit him all the time.
Okay.
He's using a machine gun on us, and there's coming a lot of enemies, and he can also use some rockets to kill us easily. But we use the way to stay in the corner and just hit him, so we don't die.
Okay, so we're running in and to the left into the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the way to the left side in the corner. But there's two enemies in here. We just need to kill.
Again, a confident team will have a different approach.
It's not.
Yeah,
You can just follow me. Just follow me over here. To get down. And we can use over here to kill him. You see him, and you can see through the boxes.
Okay.
This is the final boss.
Ah. Oh.
It doesn't exactly bring out brave heroes, but it's possible to continue to stay alive, and this is a good way for everyone to go through the Nightfall.
One person needs to jump out, just stand here to shoot. I'm not sure if you get
I can actually shoot him from inside of the box here. But you can get my position in the back if you want, and I can go out and rattle his skin.
I'll do that.
So you want me to go out and rattle his skin? Get him moving? Yeah. Okay, let's go and do that. Actually, I need to jump out here because I'm more wrong about something up the other way.
So you can get over there.
Fuck!
Just use your
Yeah. But you're very safe, Thomas. I just shot him a little, so I'm going to go out again in a way. In a moment, so I need to keep alive because if one of you has to get me and you die, well then you have to jump out of the game and jump back in. Because it's way too risky to be picked up. And that's a word of reminder for everyone. If somebody stays in the game, you can jump out and jump in again. That counts almost as a respawn, and I guess it's another exploit. Yeah, he's coming back. I riled him up. Good.
No, this is
eventually just the room here will get closed.
Yeah, I think.
So this couldn't be used as a guide for future games, because if you want to do this in the future when the room is closed, you will have to keep moving on top of the platform and go away from them and keep together so you can pick each other up. There's a lot of shields up there. Can't see anything. Yeah, he moved. If you can get all those shields down, I can go out and try and lure him back. One down.
Yeah, the other guy's down.
Okay, he's on top of us.
Yeah.
Either side. Not sure what to do. I think I'll go to the other side of the room. There's a place where you can hide, and I should be able to shoot him from there. Yes.
Ooh.
Oh fuck, I died.
Guardian down.
That was a one hit. Didn't even see that coming.
I'll
So
shit.
jump out and come back in.
No, I think one of us will come over.
Yeah, let's see if the armor is over. Armor is great. Oh, nice.
Ah.
Almost got you. Wait. Coming.
You died?
Yeah, I died.
Yeah. I'll try and get you up when I can. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, just one back and hide and the other side is go. Back to base camp.
Why didn't it chat? It's almost.
Well, because they hit 50 now, then.
I think I got some of them.
Where is he now? Uncomfortable?
Yeah. Fuck.
close again. I don't know. God damn it, I haven't shot at him in a minute or two. Can't see. Simply can't find him. Oh, he's still on top of him.
Guardian down.
Yeah, he got me, but I think I'm in the cave.
Yeah, you're in the cave. Oh, he's really on top of us. Oh, right.
I'll go out and try and fire him. Oh, can't get in. Oh, I am in. Okay. Panic. I was in a state of panic. I'll close again and try and... Yeah, I got him moving, but I don't know where he's going.
Guardian down.
Plus he got me.
He's coming down.
Take a moment before you don't go after me. There's a situation there. It's a death trap. He's in the back area now, walking up the stairs on your side. He's under the stairs now, coming towards you. And now he went up. And he jumped in the middle. And he's still walking towards you.
This is a terrible weapon I have here.
It's still the same again.
Oh. So close to killing him.
You can pick me up now. I think.
Let's see what he is.
No, you can't. There's a giant right beside me. Listen up, I'm leaving and joining. It will take me a second. How's his hand?
I can see.
And
He's dead. He's dead now.
We got him.
Okay, we can get out.
I'll let Commander Zavala know there's one less problem on Mars.
Finally.
Flawless to all has finally been defeated in the Cabal command.
We did it! Although I have to say, hiding under the stairs is a bit...
More fleets will come.
Ah.
New leaders will
But I don't think I would have made it through otherwise.
be ready to face them all.
I wouldn't have made it otherwise. So, I'm not gonna pretend.
great.
Now we see what we get about it. You can get some really great weapons.
Yep.
Oh, I got a skull.
What did I get, Nick?
Wow.
Some sort of weapon. Prestige 4 machine gun.
Yeah,
Legendary.
Seems it's pretty good.
Skull of the
And
dire
I got
Akmahar.
literally nothing. Oh, 16
Swing
coins.
Swing coins is good. But
Yeah, send a clip in the comments saying you cheated, Dóri, it does not
you don't
count.
use them.
Sure, I'll agree to that. But that was me playing through a raid. No, a strike, rather.
I think we can do a little mission if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we have 10 minutes.
Maybe.
Yeah, the daily one.
Level 28.
So, the daily...
Do we have time to the daily heroic story?
We have 10 minutes.
10 minutes. I think we can do it.
Okay, so daily heroic story?
Level
Yes.
28.
Wait, let me see. Yeah, so it's the daily heroic story on Venus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The daily is stuck on Venus. We can use it. And you can change the level. Oh, it's okay. You can change the level to 28 if you click on the heart.
Ah, okay. So change it to level 28. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
People in the chat suggesting I should dismantle some of Nick's legendaries. Problem with that is he's watching.
If you could
Our new
take
friend
a
must have
Evelyn
access to
and just
extraordinary
dismantle
methods
that world.
that reached out to us like that. The radio message she sent came from somewhere in the
I
jungles of
think
Venus.
Nick won't be happy.
The thing about finishing Nightfall, it may be hard, but and you may die a couple of times, but your experience points, you get more, you get a boost to your experience points generated from then on for a week.
Okay.
Yeah, for Nightfall.
This colony was built by the Ishtar Collective.
Yeah, so
Records say they once studied ruins
I think that's
older
good
than
because
humanity
I think
itself.
many people would
We
think
thought
that
this was all lost in the collapse.
really waste time maybe having to do it 3 times because it's too much. But in the end, you will make up in time, so that's the XP boost.
And extra XP. Good.
Okay, before we get going here. Yeah, he's saying I should put on the Gatlahorn rocket launcher, so let's try that out. Okay. Let's give this a go. Ah, I keep forgetting about that. Weird I can just conjure up a little rocket bike from between my legs. Oh, I think I'm a bit behind. I stopped to kill people. I'm coming. Do we kill these guys or continue? Continue.
We're going in the right direction. It's in that building where you can see
Vex
some
sensor
people
should be up
coming
ahead.
out.
Oops.
That was now.
That was not a good idea. I'm not gonna waste it here. Rocket launcher.
Yeah,
These sensors are extensive. Okay, I should be able to track these machines. Let's head to those coordinates and find out what she wants us to
you
see.
can just follow us.
Oh, okay. We're leaving again.
It's a little bit hard to control that spell.
Yeah.
The coordinates lead here.
To get down.
What is it? Let me get a closer look.
When we get in here, we have restricted spawn.
Yes. Restricted respawning.
Just need to defend the complex. This is the complex we need to defend. There's coming some mini towers and you can use your gun horn on the mini towers.
Roger, roger.
A conflux of non-baryonic streams
You just
going.
need to stay back here and just kill an enemy.
No, 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 no. It's the Vex. Better find some cover.
The grenade. This is fairly easier than we can. You need to watch out for the hot guns.
They're gone.
You 2 hits from them and you're almost dead.
Oh no.
You gotta watch out for the minotaurs.
What a big one.
Take the big one down with the sniper.
Of course I spent all my heavy ammo on...
Can you get in the
Uh-oh. Out of battery. Whew. Did... What?
Can you plug the cable in at the gameplay?
Yeah, it's plugged in. Oh, got a Minotaur on my ass. Oh, I think I killed myself. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, Minotaur out of nowhere. Jesus. Nice. And we're out of time as well. Yeah, thanks for joining. That was pretty great. Definitely enjoyed that.
Well,
Let's watch this cutscene.
we
Wanna
haven't
say
got
goodbye?
much time.
Who are you?
Why have you been watching us?
I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain.
Why didn't
I
I me
will.
in the
I
chat?
will. I know.
That's the worst line ever. I don't have time
I wasn't
to
talking to
explain
you, little light.
why I don't have time to explain.
Actually.
Send the clip. I'm gonna make a distinction. I didn't cheat. I
But you made
I used the design
Yes,
glitch
and
to my advantage.
They are here. With me.
Who's she talking to?
Understood.
I gamed the
You
game.
need my help, Guardian.
Is that why you brought us here?
Don't I
They
think you're playing
brought
to
us
this
here.
all night long now.
I will
The
see.
Vex.
We'll see. I don't think Nick will let me have his account
Evil
for that
so
long.
dark it despises
But anyway,
Yeah,
I need to end this. Thanks for joining, guys, and thanks for helping me out. That was great.
Guardian.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
No.
Now, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for everybody in the chat for the support and criticism. I thrive on both. Now, join us again. We don't have a stream lockdown for Monday, so join in for a surprise, I guess. Thanks for watching, and see you on the flip side.